The snow was falling quietly over Paris, turning every street into a glistening maze, but tonight, silence felt wrong. I was alone in my small apartment when I heard it, a soft, almost deliberate tap at my window. At first, I thought it was just the wind. But then, a shadow moved, just beyond the frost, and a chill ran down my spine. Something, or someone, was watching me. Secrets, long buried, were slipping through the cracks of this peaceful night, and I knew, deep down, that whatever was coming, would change everything. And I couldn't turn away, even if I wanted to. The first tap, the snow fell quietly, as if Paris had been wrapped in a soft, white blanket. The city looked peaceful from my small apartment window on Rue Saint-Honoré. Streetlights reflected off the icy streets, and for a moment, I let myself believe in the calm. I had been having a hard week. Work was exhausting, and my friends were busy with their own lives. I'd stayed in most evenings, curled up with a cup of tea, listening to the rain turn to snow. Tonight, I wanted nothing more than a quiet evening and an early sleep. But then, I heard it, a faint tap at my window. At first, I thought it was the wind. Old Parisian windows made strange noises. I ignored it and sipped my tea. But the tapping came again. Louder this time. Intentional. Someone, or something, was outside. I set down my cup, my heart starting to race. The city was supposed to be quiet at this hour. Who could it be? My apartment was on the 5th floor. It wasn't easy for someone to reach the windows from the street. I drew the curtains back slowly. My breath caught. A shadow moved just beyond the frost. I blinked, thinking my eyes were playing tricks. But no. There it was. A figure, tall, bundled in a dark coat, standing perfectly still. Watching. I felt a chill, deeper than the winter cold. I didn't know why, but I sensed danger. Secrets were moving in the night. Something that belonged in the past, or something I didn't want to face, was here. I stepped back from the window, trying to convince myself it was nothing. Maybe a neighbor? A passerby? The city was full of lost souls on snowy nights. But the unease in my chest didn't leave. It grew heavier with every second of silence that followed. Then, the tapping again. One tap, two taps, a rhythm, deliberate. It wasn't random. Whoever, or whatever, it was, wanted me to notice. My hands shook. I wanted to call someone, the police maybe, but a strange voice in my mind stopped me. Wait, it whispered. See it first. I grabbed a blanket and approached the window again. The shadow hadn't moved. I strained to see, trying to make sense of the figure in the dim light. Something familiar tugged at me. I couldn't place it. Suddenly, the shadow moved closer to the glass. I gasped. My heart pounded so loudly I was sure anyone could hear it. And then, a soft voice, almost a whisper, reached me through the cold night. Do you remember me? I froze. The voice was familiar. But it shouldn't have been. Not after all these years. I had buried it deep, tried to forget. And yet, there it was, on this snowy night, in Paris, speaking directly to me. I backed away from the window, trembling. Memories I had locked away began to surface, memories I thought were gone. A secret I had never shared, a mistake I had made, a person I had lost. And now, they were here. The snow kept falling outside, quiet and soft. But inside, my mind raced. Questions collided. Why now? After so many years? What did they want from me? I wanted to close the curtains, lock the window, pretend it hadn't happened. But something inside me, curiosity, fear, guilt, maybe all three, kept me rooted to the spot. I knew I couldn't ignore it. The snow outside was just a cover. The real storm was about to begin. I didn't know it yet, but by morning, nothing would feel safe. Secrets would be revealed. Truths would be uncovered. And I would be forced to face something I had spent years hiding. The figure tapped one last time and then disappeared into the darkness of the snow-covered street. The silence returned, heavier than before. My hands were shaking, my heart racing. I didn't know what to do. Part of me wanted to run. Part of me wanted answers. All I knew was that sleep wouldn't come tonight. And that one snowy night, in a city I thought I knew, was about to change everything. Whispered my name. I tried to convince myself it was a dream. Maybe I had imagined it. But the unease didn't fade. I kept replaying the image of that figure in my mind. Their eyes, or at least I thought I saw eyes, had a weight to them. Heavy with something I couldn't name. A secret, yes, but also accusation. I made coffee, hoping the routine would calm me. The warmth in my hands didn't reach the chill in my chest. Something had shifted. I couldn't explain it, but I knew that one night had opened a door I had tried for years to keep closed. By noon, curiosity had begun to replace fear. I needed to see the street where the figure had stood. Maybe I could find a clue. I bundled in my thickest coat, wrapped a scarf around my neck, and stepped outside. The snow crunched under my boots. The street was almost empty. A few early shoppers hurried by, scarves over their mouths, eyes down. The snow hid footprints, but I searched anyway, scanning the ground for signs of someone who shouldn't have been there. And then I saw it, a dark smear on the snow near the alley, as if something had brushed against the fresh powder. Not quite footprints, not quite nothing. My stomach twisted. Someone had been here. Someone had left a mark just for me to see. I followed the street slowly, heart pounding with every step. The buildings, usually familiar, now felt strange and imposing. Windows stared down at me, as if hiding secrets behind frosted glass. Every shadow seemed alive, moving with intent. I came to the cafe near my apartment, the one I visited every weekend. The door was ajar, a single chair tipped over inside. Nothing was stolen. Nothing seemed out of place. But the unease I felt only deepened. It was as if someone had been sending messages, invisible but clear, warning me of what was to come. Back outside, the snow had started to fall again, thicker this time. The flakes blurred the view of the streets, and I felt the same sense of being watched. I turned quickly, half expecting to see the figure from last night. But no one was there. Only the snow, drifting silently, hiding everything in white. I thought of calling someone, anyone, friends, the police. But I didn't know what to say. Someone whispered my name in the snow last night. It sounded insane. Yet the memory was too real to ignore. I felt trapped between fear and a need for answers. Hours passed. I couldn't stay in one place. My apartment felt like a cage. I wandered the streets, trying to understand what had happened, hoping that the rational world would provide an explanation. But Paris, quiet and covered in snow, offered none. And then, in the distance, I saw her. Or him. I couldn't tell from this distance. The same dark figure from last night. Standing near the corner of a narrow street, perfectly still, watching me. My breath caught. Part of me wanted to run. Part of me wanted to confront them. I approached slowly, careful not to alarm them, careful not to make a mistake. As I got closer, the figure shifted slightly, just enough for me to recognize something familiar in their posture. Something I hadn't seen in years, but had never forgotten. Then the words came, carried softly over the snowfall. You didn't think I'd forget, did you? I froze. My chest tightened. My mind raced. I remembered the past, the mistakes, the broken trust, the secrets I had buried deep in my heart. I had thought time could erase them. I had hoped the snow, the city, the distance, would hide them forever. But here they were, standing in front of me, in the cold, insisting I face everything I had tried to forget. The snow kept falling, heavier now. Each flake seemed to carry a weight of memory, pressing against my skin. I didn't know whether to speak, whether to run, whether to try to explain. I only knew one thing: this was no accident. The snowy night had called them here. My past had found me. And as I looked into the shadowed figure, I realized that the secrets that whispered through the cold weren't just theirs, they were mine too. I took a shaky step forward, and in that instant, everything I had tried to forget began to surface. The cold bit into my hands, my face, but it was nothing compared to the chill of the truth about to unfold. This snowy night wasn't over. And neither was the reckoning that had just begun. The wind grew colder as I stood there, staring at the figure who had been haunting my thoughts since the night before. Snowflakes drifted between us, soft but relentless, blurring their face and making the moment feel unreal. For a second, I wondered if I had imagined the voice again, if the snow was playing tricks on my mind. But then the figure took a slow step forward, and I knew this was real. I opened my mouth to speak, but my voice wouldn't come. My mind searched for a name, a memory, anything that could explain why someone from my past had suddenly appeared in Paris, on a night like this, saying words that felt like a threat and a plea at the same time. Then the figure lifted a hand and pulled down the scarf covering their face. My breath stopped. It was Elise. My heart stumbled. My chest tightened with a shock I hadn't felt in years. Her face, older, sharper, tired, but unmistakable. The same brown eyes that once felt warm and familiar now looked distant, holding a storm behind them. I hadn't seen her in almost 3 years. Not since the night everything fell apart. Not since the night I left without saying goodbye. She blinked slowly, as if the snow bothered her eyes, but I sensed it was something else, pain, maybe. Anger. Hurt she had carried for years. Hurt I had caused. Elise, I whispered, barely hearing my own voice. She didn't smile. Not even close. Her lips pressed into a thin line, and she exhaled deeply, as if hearing her own name out loud made something inside her collapse. You didn't think I'd come looking, she said quietly, but you must have known I would, eventually. My throat tightened. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how to breathe. I didn't know why she was here. The last I knew, she had moved on, away from me, away from our shared past, away from everything that connected us. I thought you were, I stopped myself. I didn't know how to finish the sentence. You didn't expect to see me again, she finished. I know. The street felt strangely empty. The snow swallowed all sound. The world had shrunk to the space between us. I wanted to ask her why she had come. How she had found me. Why she had stood outside my apartment window like a ghost from a life I tried to bury. But the words tangled inside me. She looked around, her gaze sweeping the snowy street, then found mine again. Can we talk somewhere warm? She asked. Just, somewhere not out here. Her voice cracked on the last word. Just a little. But enough for me to hear the exhaustion hidden beneath her resolve. I nodded. There's a cafe 2 streets down. Quiet. Warm. She hesitated, then gestured for me to lead the way. I turned and walked, aware of her footsteps crunching in the snow behind me. My breaths were short. My mind raced with every step. Memories shoved themselves into my chest, memories I had worked so hard to forget. We reached the cafe. The bell over the door rang softly as we entered. The warmth hit me first, then the smell of coffee and fresh pastries. It felt safe, familiar. But today, nothing felt comforting. We sat in a small corner booth. She took off her gloves slowly, neatly, placing them on the table. Everything she did was careful, controlled. It was so different from the Elise I used to know, the Elise who laughed too loudly, who rushed through life without thinking, who trusted me more than she should have. I folded my hands together to stop them from shaking. She looked at me, finally, with the full weight of 3 years in her eyes. "You disappeared," she said softly. Just like that. I swallowed hard. "I know. You left me alone." Her voice didn't rise. It didn't break. It was calm, too calm. And that calm hurt more than anger would have. "I had to leave," I whispered. "No. You chose to leave." Silence fell between us. Heavy, thick. The kind that makes breathing feel like effort. I looked down at the table. The wood grain blurred through the tears forming in my eyes. I blinked them away quickly, hoping she didn't see. "Elise. I didn't want to hurt you. But you did." Her voice trembled now. "And you never explained why." My chest clenched. Of all the things I had prepared for, anger, blame, accusations, her sadness was the one thing I wasn't ready for. "I thought disappearing was the best thing for you," I said quietly. "I thought staying would only make things worse." She shook her head slowly. "You never gave me the chance to understand. Or to choose." She was right. I knew it. I had left her without warning, without a word, without even a note. One day we were together, planning, dreaming, fighting, trying. And then I walked away. Completely. Because I was scared. Because of the secret. The secret I had kept from her. The secret that had carved a wall between us long before I left. The secret that returned last night, tapping on my window, whispering through the cold. She leaned forward slightly. "What happened to you? Why did you run? And why now, after all this time, did you act like you didn't know me?" The words stuck in my throat. My heart pounded in my ears. I felt trapped again, the same way I felt 3 years ago. Cornered by truth. But before I could speak, she said something that froze my blood. "I know what you did." The air left my lungs. I stared at her. She didn't flinch. "I know about the secret," she whispered, her voice barely audible. "I know why you left. I know everything." The room tilted. My pulse raced. She knew. She knew the truth. The truth I had buried so deeply I believed no one would ever dig it up. I felt the world closing in. The cafe walls seemed to lean closer. The air felt thick, too heavy to breathe. I looked at her face, at the pain in her eyes, and I felt the past rise up like a wave. The snowy night outside suddenly made sense. The voice at my window. The shadow. The message. My past hadn't just returned. It had found its way to her. And now, she wanted me to face it. I opened my mouth, finally ready to speak. Ready to confess. Ready to explain everything I had run from. But before a single word left my lips, Elise reached into her coat and pulled out the letter. The letter I hoped no one would ever see. Elise placed the folded letter on the table between us as if it were something fragile or dangerous. The edges were worn. The ink had bled slightly, as if touched by water, snow maybe, or tears. My heart dropped. I recognized it immediately. It was my handwriting. It was my words. It was the one thing I had tried so hard to make disappear. My fingers curled into fists under the table as I stared at it, unable to reach for it, afraid of what opening it again would do to me, to us. Where did you get that?" I finally managed to ask, my voice thin. Elise didn't look away. Her gaze was steady, but soft, holding a quiet pain. "You left it behind," she said. In your drawer. The one you thought I never opened. I blinked slowly. The memory hit me like cold water on my face. I remembered shoving that letter into the back of a drawer on the night I left, too shaken to tear it apart, too guilty to keep it close. It wasn't meant for you, I whispered, though I wasn't sure if that even mattered anymore. I know, she said softly. It wasn't meant for anyone, was it? I swallowed hard. No. The letter sat between us like a third presence. Heavy. Breathing. Waiting. She slid it gently across the table, stopping right in front of me. You should read it, she said. Hear your own words again. Maybe then you'll understand why I came. My chest tightened. I didn't want to read it. I didn't want to revisit the darkest night of my life. But I knew there was no escaping it now. Not after last night. Not after seeing Elise standing in the snow with a voice full of sadness and truth. My hands trembled as I reached for the paper. Even touching it made something inside me ache. I unfolded it slowly. The handwriting was messy, rushed, uneven. I remembered writing it, late at night, heart pounding, terrified of what I had done, or what I believed I had done. I took a breath and began to read. I didn't mean for any of this to happen. I didn't mean to hurt anyone. But I can't stay here anymore. If they find out, if she finds out, everything will fall apart. I don't know who I am after what happened. I don't know what I've become. Leaving is the only way to protect them. To protect her. I hope someday she understands. The words were wound. Even after all this time, they bled. My throat tightened as I reached the end. A small tear sat at the bottom corner, dried and brown. I couldn't remember if it was mine. I folded the letter slowly, pressing it between my shaking hands. Elise watched me the entire time, her expression unreadable. When I finally looked up, her voice came out quietly. It wasn't just a letter. It was goodbye. I nodded. It was. And it was fear. Another nod. Yes. And guilt, she added softly. My chest collapsed with the truth. More than you know. She leaned back in her seat, exhaling. The cafe felt quieter than before. The hum of conversation seemed far away, almost unreal. Why didn't you tell me, she asked, her voice breaking now, the first real crack since she arrived. Why didn't you trust me with the truth? It wasn't about trust, I said. It was about shame. She blinked. Shame? Yes. I rubbed the bridge of my nose, trying to steady myself. Because of what I did. Because of what happened. Because I couldn't face the possibility of hurting you. You already did, she whispered. By leaving. I lowered my head. I know. Another stretch of silence wrapped around us. The snow outside pressed against the windows, thick and relentless, like the weight of everything unspoken. After a moment, Elise reached for her bag and pulled out something else. A photograph. She slid it toward me with trembling fingers. I stared at it. It was the two of us. Taken 3 years ago. We were smiling, really smiling, near the Seine under a warm afternoon sun. She had her arm around me. I had my head slightly tilted toward her. We looked young. Naive. Hopeful. I felt something inside me break. I kept it, she said quietly. Even when you left. Even when I couldn't understand. Even when I hated you. I never wanted you to hate me, I whispered. I didn't, she admitted. I tried to. But I couldn't. I closed my eyes. The weight of everything I'd run from pressed against me. Hard. Heavy. Crushing. I left because I thought it was the only way to protect you, I said softly. But the thing I didn't realize, the thing I never understood, was that disappearing hurt you more than the truth ever could. She nodded slowly. It did. My hands tightened around the folded letter. My voice trembled. I thought I had ruined everything. I thought the choice I made that night was unforgivable. That if you knew, you'd never look at me again. Her eyes softened, though the pain remained. What choice? The question felt like a blade sliding between ribs. I looked toward the window for a moment, watching the snow thicken. Paris blurred into white shapes and soft lights, quiet, familiar, yet impossibly distant. Then I looked at her. Elise. I need you to understand something before I tell you. She waited. I didn't leave because I stopped loving you, I said. I left because I loved you too much. Her breath caught. Her fingers curled around the edge of the table. I continued, even though my voice was barely holding together. I thought if you knew the truth, if you knew what I did, you'd never forgive me. I thought I didn't deserve forgiveness. Or love. Or you. Her eyes glistened. Tell me, she whispered. Tell me everything. I opened my mouth. I was finally ready. Ready to confess the secret that had chased me into the snow. Ready to explain the night that haunted me still. Ready to face what I was sure would break me. But before I could speak, the cafe door swung open. A cold gust of wind rushed in. And a man stepped inside. He scanned the room. His eyes landed on us. And something in his stare told me immediately, he wasn't here for coffee. He was here for the truth I was about to say. The man who stepped into the cafe shook snow off his coat as if he had walked through a storm far heavier than the one outside. His eyes scanned the room, sharp and searching. He wasn't tall, but he carried himself with a confidence that made him seem larger. His coat was dark, his jaw tense, his hair damp with melted snow. When his gaze landed on our table, it didn't leave. My stomach dropped. Elise felt it too. I saw her spine straighten, her breath catch, her fingers curl around the edge of the table. She didn't recognize him. But I did. Not his face. Not his name. Not anything specific. But the feeling. The unmistakable feeling. He belonged to the same night I'd been running from. He moved toward us slowly, not rushing, not stopping, just walking with a purpose that made the cafe feel suddenly too small. The quiet hum of chatter dimmed. Even the barista paused mid-step, sensing tension in the air. He reached our table and stopped. For a second, none of us spoke. Then he looked at me, not Elise, not anyone else, and said in a low, calm voice, "We need to talk." I felt the blood drain from my face. Elise glanced between us, unsettled, confused. I forced myself to breathe. "I don't know who you are." A small, humorless smile touched his lips. "You do." His voice wasn't loud, but it carried weight. Enough for Elise to lean back slightly. Enough for me to feel the air shift around us. "Who are you?" she asked, protective, stepping slightly closer to me. He didn't even look at her. He kept his eyes on me. "I'm someone who's been trying to find you for 3 years." The words hit harder than I expected. My pulse raced. My mouth went dry. I shook my head. "You're mistaken," I tried to say calmly. "You've got the wrong, don't lie," he cut in softly. "Not to me." His tone wasn't angry. That was the worst part. His calmness felt like pressure, like he had prepared for this moment, rehearsed it, lived with it. Elise's eyebrows pulled together. She looked at me with fear she tried to hide behind calmness. She whispered, "Who is he?" I shook my head again, this time slower. "He's connected to the night I left," I said quietly. Her lips parted. I saw the realization hit her. But it means you will be hunted, watched, followed. while you're with him. The professor took a deep breath, steadying himself. Laurent stepped back from the door suddenly. Then he said 4 words that made my stomach flip: "Step away from the entrance." What do we do? I whispered. He looked at the notebook in my bag.